I wanted to make a video for you showing you some of the pieces of the week 2 assignment. Now, this is going to have mouse clicks so you can see where I'm clicking on the screen. It is highlighted with a circle. It makes it a little bit easier for those of you who want to see and work along. I'm going to be doing a demo of Artboard 1 and Artboard 2, and I'll get into a little bit of an explanation of Artboard 3 for you, but I do have a separate video that I've already done of the butterfly. Now for Artboard 1, I'm just going to do the first, I'm not going to do it 3 times. The 3 times is for you to be able to really get in there and practice with the tools. So for Artboard 1, you're going to use the pencil tool to draw the shapes. Now, I wanted to show you a little bit of a tip. So you may start, and the pencil tool, again, is located underneath the shaper tool. So make sure if it's default at the shaper tool that you click to get under to the pen tool. And you may be thinking, oh, I'll just start drawing on the screen, which you can do. But if you hold down the shift key while you are drawing with the pencil tool, see how it goes from being an asterisk to a line next to the icon? It's going to give you this nice straight line. And then in order to continue on the same path, what you want to do, you need to hover until you see that line next to the pencil. See asterisk line, click, hold down the shift key, nice straight line. So this is going to be the best way to really do this shape. And then even when you start to do the angles, click start to draw a little bit and then hold down the shift key. So you can get yourself going at the correct angle. So click start to draw, now hold down the shift key. Click start to draw, now hold down the shift key. Otherwise, if you just hold down the shift key, it's going to send you in a specific direction, which works for some of the angles, but it doesn't work for all of the angles. See, like that one. Start to draw, now hold down the shift key. Whoops. Get as close as you can. And end. You'll do the same thing for him. So click and hold down the shift key. Oops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My pencil tool's going crazy on me. And whoops. Every time I go to start talking. And just take your time. So you're going to want to try your best to free draw those circles. The circles are the hardest. I mean, you might have a good time or an easy time drawing a circle. I have a tough time drawing a circle, free drawing a circle. Now, when you get down to this shape, again, you need to complete each shape. So try your best to do it all at once. If you can't and you have to let go, just make sure that you're on that line, because everything in Illustrator needs to be a closed shape in order for it to be filled in. So see, when I flip it, this fills that in. If I just drew with the pencil tool and did a couple of shapes like this, see how they're open, not closed? Now look what happens when I go to fill them in. They don't really fill in. correctly. See? It gives me that weird line where it's trying to figure out how, where to end it, where to connect the dots. So again, use the shift key. Whoops. Get those nice straight lines. And always work with the fill set to none when you're doing things like this. You can definitely still see the difference. All right, on artboard number 2, we're going to start to use the pen tool. The pen tool is probably one of the hardest tools that you're going to use in Illustrator. I'm just letting you know. Some people have an easier time with the pen tool. Some people have a harder time with the pen tool. I had a really hard time with the pen tool when I was first trying to figure out how to use it because I didn't understand how to use it. My biggest tip is zoom in on what it is that you are doing so you can really see what you're doing on the screen. So for the star, we're going to click at the dots, making one continuous shape that's going to make the star. Now to end it, you'll notice, see how the icon doesn't have anything next to it? When I hover over where I started, it gives that little circle. That shows that it's going to end that shape. Next, we're going to start to add in a second direction in a way. So you're going to click, not let go of your mouse, and drag to the number 2. So starting at the number 1, just drag to the number 2. Holding down shift at the same time gives you a nice straight line. That's what's going to start this curve right there, is dragging that handle out. Next, you're going to click, not let go, and drag to the number 4. See? It continues the curve. It fixes the curve going from 1 to 3 and starts the curve that's going to go from 3 to 5. Again, click, don't let go, and drag to number 6. Go up to number 7, click, do not let go, and drag to number 8. And again, ending the path, click and drag again to number 2 to fix this curve right here. And then go up to the black arrow tool after each of your shapes to end it. Now we're going to do multiple curves. So we're going to click at number 1 and drag up to number 2. See how I get the bend that's starting? Click at number 3, drag down to number 4. Click at number 5, drag up to number 6. Click at number 7, drag down to number 8, and you are done. Go back up to the black arrow tool to end it. On this one, we're adding in another key now because we want to change the direction. So we're going to click at 1, drag down to number 2. Then we're going to click and drag down to number 4. But you'll notice it changes your bend up here. So we're going to hold down either the Option key if you're on a Mac or the Alt key if you are on a PC. And we're going to grab, see how it goes from being the pen to being this upside down V? We're going to grab this anchor and drag it back down. And go to number 5, click and drag down to number 6. And again, Option or Alt key, drag that anchor back down. And click and end at number 7. It's going to tell you to drag down to number 8. You don't need to do that. All right, using that Alt key again. We're going to click at number 1, drag up to number 2, click at number 3, and drag down to number 4. Let go. Alt or Option key, grab that handle and drag it up to number 6. click at number 7, drag down to number 8, let go, Alt or Option key, drag up to number 10, and let go. Then click at 11, drag down to number 12, Alt or Option key, drag that back up to number 14, let go of the Option key, and click and drag down to number 16, and back up to the black arrow key to end it. Now, for this one and for this one right here and the one that we're going to do after it, the directions are kind of a little bit off for these, so if you follow along, it's going to be easier. We're going to click at number 1 and drag up to number 2. Next, we're going to click at number 3 and drag down to number 4 and let go. Option or Alt key, drag this handle up so it's running directly across, and you're going to click and drag down to number 7. This is where it's wrong. Option key or Alt key, bring number 6 back down. Then you're going to click at number 8 and drag up to number 9. Option or Alt key, bring this back down and over. Click at number 11 and drag up to number 12. Bring the path back up to number 11 with the Alt or Option key. Click at 13, drag down to 14. This one is probably the most complex, but honestly, when I was trying to figure out where the instructions were wrong, I had more difficulty with this one. All right, so we're going to follow all of the instructions until we get to about number 13 going up to 12. Again, for this one, make sure that your fill is set to none, because if it isn't, once you get around to here, you're not going to be able to see the instructions and it might get a little bit confusing. So we're going to start at number 1, click and drag to number 2, let go. Click at number 3, drag down to number 4, let go. Alt or Option key, grab that handle and drag it down to number 6. Swing it back around to number 7, click, drag up to number 8, let go. Alt or Option key, grab that handle from number 8, bring it around to number 10. Click at number 13, which is right next to the number 3, but don't accidentally click on the number 3. Click and drag up to 12, let go. Drag down and a little bit between 12 and 14 and over to the right. This is where it changes, and let go. Click at number 1 and end it. And if you want to be absolutely perfect, Option key, drag 14 down until it looks correct right here. Now, for the butterfly, I have another video that shows the whole demo, but my suggestion to you, depending on how well you are with the pen tool, draw with the pen tool the outside of the butterfly. Trace that first. Then go in with the ellipses tool. Add your perfect circles in where you see perfect circles. Finally, finish with the pencil tool, drawing in these shapes. For each shape that you want to color in, select it first with the black arrow tool. Then go up to your swatches and color it in. I also suggest that you remove the stroke when you are done to give it a nice, clean look. I hope that this video was helpful.